Yo, what's going on, good people? This is MC Till with everybody's hip hop label. You are tuned into the Boom Bap Chat number 71. It's going to be a fun discussion tonight, a little bit different from what we're used to, but I'm excited about tonight because we're going to be talking about one of my favorite artists of all time, which is Common, and his new album and his whole catalog, his contribution to the culture. We're going to get into all that, but make sure you know the routine. If you're in Cincinnati, hit up Everybody's Records over in Pleasant Ridge. They got a dope assortment of CDs, tapes, vinyl, books, all that. And if you can't find what you're looking for there, if you're a vinyl head and you're into hip hop, definitely check out getondown.com. They got great vinyl selection. They got some CDs and tapes too, but a lot of great vinyl, a lot of reissues and anniversary sets and stuff like that. So make sure you check them out at getondown.com. All right, in the room with me as always, we have on location tonight, we have Mr. Profound.
Coach Profound.
Coach Pro, yeah. What's going on, Profound, man?
What's good, Till? What's good, IO? Yeah,
What
man.
up,
I'm
though?
out here. My son had football practice today, so we on location, man. But we gonna talk about hip hop anywhere.
Yeah, no doubt,
Yes,
man. Glad
sir.
that you can make it, even though you're out there supporting your son. That's great, man.
Yeah, for sure.
And I love hearing the kids in the background. That's
Right.
Man, dude, it's
wonderful
deep out here
sounds.
today.
Yeah, that's great, man. That's great. We also have, as always, Iomas Marad. What's up, Iomas?
What's up, brother Till? How you
Hey,
feeling, man?
feeling it's been a good day, man. It's been a
That's
good
what's up.
day.
What's
How
up,
about
brother
yourself?
Pro? I'm good, man. I'm good. I
Yeah,
see it. I'm chilling with my brothers. You know what I'm saying? I'm
yeah.
good. I'm
No,
gravy.
no doubt, no doubt. Well, tonight, before we jump into this album right here, I want to show the folks tuning in live. This album right here is a beautiful revolution, part two by Common, and we're gonna talk about this album a little bit. But before we do that, I'm curious to know, fella, you guys being from Chicago, and I'm from originally from Evansville, Indiana, which is like a 5-hour drive directly below Chicago.
Okay.
I spent not a lot of time in Chicago, but spent some time in Chicago. And just being from the Midwest was always impacted by, Chicago artists, especially Common. But you guys are from there, grew up there, know the people there. And just could you share with me and the audience tonight just your interactions and your experience with Common through the years?
You want to go first, Pro? Or you want me to go first?
It don't matter, brother. I know we both probably got, we probably have similar stories because we probably were together at a
Right,
couple of
right,
those events or whatever, as well as separately too.
Yeah.
I'll
right.
go. I mean, I'll go. It's just, man, till all I can say is when I first met him, like I didn't expect him to be as humble as he was. Like he was
Mm,
really, really, really cool. And
yeah.
when I first actually met him, I was actually performing with him at an event for somewhere we was. I want to say out by Rainbow Beach on the south side of Chicago, and it was him and I. It was something for the children for the Chicago public school system that we had did. But brother was, pretty cool, man. But I've been able to. I've seen him several times, like from the first album up until, he wasn't, all in Chicago anymore. But yeah, I mean, everybody know the stories about the night Wu Tang at the, I forget where we was at. I want to say maybe at
Oh
the Congress
yeah.
Theater where the chick snatched the mic out of Common's hand.
No, that was
Yeah, and man, why
Alcatraz.
he
That was Alcatraz.
was it
What?
Alcatraz?
Yeah.
Why the mic
I
get
know
Yeah.
Wu
snatched?
That boy was.
because he was
I'll
too
never
close. You
forget
know
that
how it was.
night.
They was Wu Tang was there. That Wu Tang was on the show too. Like, and he just was rocking up on the stage. And when you go like towards the end of the stage, everybody that's right at front stage, a female reached up and snatched, and it was a mic, with the cord, and she reached up and snatched the cord, and snatched the mic out his hand, like right. It might have been right when he was in the middle of doing "Soul by the Pound" too.
Wow.
And all I know is you just seen Calm swing in the crowd, because it was like a crowd of people up there, man. But you couldn't really tell who did. It was crazy, man.
Yeah.
It was crazy.
They
But
shut
Wow.
but
that
she
whole
was always
thing
cool,
down
man.
too.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, Wu Tang hadn't hit the stage yet, so it was a lot going on that night, man, and it was packed in there.
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. It
But
was.
brother was always humble, man. Like he was always humble, and you could tell that he was an MC, MC, as we say. Um, But that's pretty much it, man. I didn't have many interactions with him, but enough to, like with Karis Warner, enough to definitely be impacted by the brother for sure.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
How about yourself, Ayo?
I never really had a chance to like meet him, but like I've seen him, and like
Yeah.
I've seen him at the House of Blues. I said peace to him at the House of Blues, and he seemed like Profound said, he seemed like real humble. You know what I'm saying? Which I love about Common. But he made a huge impact on me. The Resurrection album made a huge impact on me because of how I remember when the first album came out. It was like, okay, that's cool. But when that Resurrection album hit, it just hit different, and it just made me really be proud to be from the South Side of Chicago. Because that album is phenomenal to me, like start to finish.
Yeah.
And so like Common means everything to me. Like I would definitely say he is like, I wouldn't say he's like my favorite MC in Chicago, but he's definitely one of the people that I draw from a lot.
Yeah.
And being that he is from Chicago.
Yeah.
So definitely, man, I got much love for Common all day.
Yeah, he's one of my favorite MCs, period. Like of anyone. I remember, and I have a very vivid memory connecting Common and my grandpa. My grandpa passed away when I was, I don't know, 10, 11 or so. So I was pretty young, I definitely have experiences and memories of him, but not a lot, Wow. And I remember one time he came over, we had a little family function, and he really liked jazz. Nice. And so I was sitting down watching Rap City, and he came over and he sat down, and Resurrection came on, the song Resurrection. And he watched it with me. I'm not sure, he was much older, and I'm not sure he knew exactly what was happening and understanding all the lyrics, but he was really open-minded guy. And I remember him after the video, he was like, well, I think that he had a really jazzy beat. I like that, And so it was just a fun memory of him connecting with me on something I really love, and him not really understanding it, but knowing that there was something jazzy that connected with him. So that was cool. And man, that comment, I don't really remember Can I Borrow a Dollar? I don't remember. Surely there was a single off of there that played, and I heard it. But
Take It Easy.
Take It Easy.
Take It Easy. Sold by the pound.
But that was an album. Those two standouts right there.
Right. And I'm sure I heard them, but I don't remember hearing them. That was an album I went back to after, Resurrection. It's like, oh, I didn't realize he had an album.
But you know what? On that first album, remember what ended up happening? All of that album was out, but it really started popping in Chicago when the Beatnuts did the remix to Soul by the Pound.
Yeah,
he shot the video for it. When they shot the video and they was all on the South Side, they had the FOI in the video and all of that. So like that's when you really started hearing him a lot in the city, and really like on all sides of the city. Because at that time I was way up on the north side of Chicago, so you was hearing about him then.
So in Chicago, it was that song and the remix by the Beatnuts in the video that kind of really jump started his, not his career maybe, but his career in Chicago at least, or his notoriety in Chicago.
Man, they was playing Take It Easy a lot on the radio.
They was playing Take It Easy.
So there's a lot of Chicago support.
From
jump. Yeah, that's cool.
But what's funny though, too? I didn't like Take It Easy.
No.
I didn't like bro, because that's when I first heard of him. When I heard Take It Easy, I didn't start liking Common to the Soul by the Pound remix. When I heard that, I was like, oh, okay.
Right,
I just, you know what Take It Easy seemed a little too gimmicky. Like when he was doing all of the, he was doing a little screeching in his
inflections, the inflections,
it wasn't resonating with me.
Yeah. Going back to that album, I actually like that album a lot. Can I Borrow a Dollar? Listening to it today, I personally like it, but it's no Resurrection, that's for sure.
No, for sure not.
Resurrection.
You can tell he did. Yeah. It's kind of like I compare that album to Tribe's Instinctive. The
distinctive trap
and the jump that they did for Low End Theory. You could tell the growth You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? Now, even though I think people's instinctive travels is way better than Can I
Yeah.
Borrow a Dollar? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I
But
agree.
at the same time, you can see the growth between the two albums. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
You know,
So
I had this conversation not too long ago on social media. There's a few artists that made that freshman, that debut to sophomore jump.
yeah,
Common is up there.
yeah,
The Fugees, I
yeah.
think maybe be number one
That was probably like
potentially.
the most significant. That was a huge jump from
That
the
was
first
huge.
album to the second album.
But the other
Yeah.
group that I think, two other groups that made a huge jump, in my opinion, was Gang Starr. I thought that was a pretty big jump.
Yeah, that was
Step
a
in the
good.
Arena was
Yes.
phenomenal.
Yeah, it
But the
was.
one that might take the cake for me, and maybe the Fugees slightly wins, but this group, man, their first album, like people don't even know they had a first album. To this day, people are like, "Oh, I didn't know they had a first album." Mobb Deep,
Okay.
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
they
I
had
can
that
see
first
that.
album as
I
like
can see
kids,
that. Yeah.
and
Yeah.
there's some decent joints on there, but
Yeah.
man, nothing like the Infamous.
Yeah, that
So,
Infamous was nuts. And you know who else
yeah.
made a huge jump from their first album? Organized
Who's that?
Confusion. That first Organized Confusion
Facts.
album was like, yeah, but
Really,
when
I
they
love
came
that.
out with that
Oh,
Stress,
man,
I was like,
I think that first album was dope.
not
Though,
saying that the first album wasn't dope, but I'm just saying you can see the growth from the first
Yeah.
album. In my opinion, you
Yeah,
can see the growth
I-
from the first album to, you know what I'm saying? So
yeah,
yeah,
and
that's what the name of the group was.
Ju-
Tucson Juvenile Hell. That's
yeah,
Mobb
Juvenile
Deep.
Hill. So,
Yep,
which I
no
like.
doubt.
That. Like, I go back to that album now. I like it, but it's man, it's
Nothing
not.
compares
It's
to
not
the
the Infamous.
it's not the
Infamous was
Infamous at
incredible,
all. But yeah, that
man.
Infamous was nuts.
Yeah. Oh, Quint, look at this. Quint says Bone Thugs too.
Okay.
Mate, I have to go
See, I
back.
don't know their catalog,
I
I'm gonna
have to
have to
go
go
so I
back.
back.
can't
Yeah.
say. I can't say. Yeah.
I
Yeah,
can't front. I was listening to a little Bone Thugs too, so I got to go back.
I have to go back.
can't say that I had the albums and all of that, but it's gonna make me go listen and see
Yeah,
though.
same.
Right.
That's the beauty of these conversations, man.
Yes,
Go
sir.
back
Yes,
and check it
sir.
out.
All
All
day.
right, so let's jump into this joint right here. Commons. Not, well, I almost said his old name. Common Sense, formerly known as Common Sense. My man,
Yeah.
Common. New album right here. You see the image if you're watching the podcast. This is A Beautiful Revolution Part 1. And I'm curious to know, fellas, we'll start with you, Profound. When you go into an album like this, are you going into it with expectations, or are you going into it with a clean slate, open mind?
Ooh, Till, you would put me on the spot right now. That's a
I mean, we
good
all
one,
do it.
man. You know what though? I think for me, sometimes it depends on who the artist is.
Right.
It was Common. It was Common, and when I hear Common, and I'm used to hearing Common, I expect to hear a certain level of excellence. So
Yeah.
I have that expectation when I hit play.
Yeah, definitely. So your
It's
expectation was
weird
excellent.
though because yeah, man.
Yeah.
I was I mean, and I have to say that this album was better than I expected it to be. I will say that because
That's dope.
he's got a lot of music now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because at some point, do you ever feel like we've talked about this before offline? Like as MC, sometimes you feel like you're running out of things to say. You know what I mean? And then for him to still have
something to say. Yeah.
And then he's got a lot of, he's got a deep catalog, you know what I mean? And then to have a deep catalog like that and then still have, the continuity in the albums and those releases be, impactful like they are, it's incredible to do, man. Like that's hard. That's not easy to do.
Yeah. Totally.
But with this,
totally.
I had an expectation that I was hoping it was going to be dope. And then I was smiling like, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
What about you? Did you come into this album with any expectations?
I think I go into every album with an expectation. I don't think that's a good thing. Like shout out to Fifth, you know what I'm saying, my brother Fifth Element. He said you should never I seen a post that he put on, I don't know if it's on Facebook or Twitter, but he's like, you should never go into an album with expectations. And I was like, man, that's really a open-minded way to approach listening to music. But for me, I always go to, especially if it's one of my favorite artists,
Yeah,
I
it's hard
always
not
going.
to.
Yeah, it's hard not to like going to listening to an album without an expectation. To me, that's very hard to do. It's
I
very hard
went
to do.
into it. But my friend, my buddy Jay Brookins used to describe it as a check. What do you call it? A checklist.
Right.
He was like, "Till you listen to albums with a checklist. It has to have certain things in it." I was like,
Right.
"Nah,
Right.
man, that's how I used to be.
Right.
Now it's like if
Yeah.
I like it, I like it. If not, just keep it moving." But
Okay.
I did go into it with the expectation that it was going to sound like the first Beautiful Revolution.
Okay.
Because the
Okay.
first, because it's part two, the artwork is very similar,
Right.
same
Right.
feel. I was like, all right, this
Yeah.
is gonna be a real part two. Like, how sometimes a part two album sounds nothing like the first album.
Right. Right.
And a lot of times that's probably because of time. So much time goes by. But this album was quick. I mean, he just
Yeah. It
put out the
was.
last one a year ago,
Yeah.
and now the part
Yeah.
two. So I was like, all right, this is gonna be like a continuation of part one. So I'm excited about
Yeah.
it because I like part one. So
Yeah.
so I went into it with that expectation. And all right, so you guys went into it with like expecting excellence because it's Common.
And he from the crib.
He's from the crib.
Yeah.
All right,
So
did he meet y'all expectations? Was it an excellently done album? Io, what do you think, man?
I would say, based on where Common is, like mentally and spiritually, I would say, yeah, it's he did this album with excellence.
Mm,
Based on where he is right now in his life,
yeah.
I would give him that. I would
Okay.
give him that. I would give him that. But for me, it doesn't meet my expectation because I know Common is way better than. Yeah, I know, I just feel like Common is way better than that. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like, yeah, I think he can reach a little bit higher to me, in my
Higher.
opinion.
Yeah. No, I'm curious to know about this. Higher, like with the content of his lyrics, higher, like with his lyrical performance, with the overall sound.
Not the content, not the sound, because I like the sound. That I like the fact that he's playing with like African rhythms, and I
Yeah.
like the fact that Fela type of feel. I'm feeling that, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? But I think I don't know. Again, that word expectations.
Yeah.
I want Common to like reach a little bit further.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like now it seems like he's doing not this is no diss to Common whatsoever. But it seems like he's doing a lot of like love related songs as
Yeah.
opposed to just like spitting. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? Like he was
right.
spitting when he was on the on that
Leakers.
freestyle. Yeah, man. Like that's I was like, okay, this is the Common. This is this is
Right.
the Common I know. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, but like again, he's at a different place. It's same with like Nas with the
Right.
conversation that we had around Nas.
Right.
You have to know, thank y'all for helping me to see that he's probably in a different space in his life. So
Right.
for him, I think this is a good level. I think he did do this album with excellence. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Dope.
So
Dope.
that's my opinion.
All right. I respect it. Profound. How about you, man? Did he
I
meet
kind
your
of
excellent? Mm-hmm.
I'm a second Io. Like I think he did put it together. It is well put together. It is excellent. But however, when we, because we from the crib, so when we hear Common, we expect to hear certain things. And
Mhm.
why I can say it's excellent is because I can appreciate the fact that he's rhyming about, and he's in a space, that's the space that he's in. You
Mhm.
understand what I'm saying? Like when them first three albums came out, I mean, I'm pretty sure he was still running back and forth on the 80 on 87th Street,
Yeah.
on the South Side. So life is different. You know what I mean?
Right.
Life is different. He ain't have children then.
Right.
I'm not sure if he's married or anything, but I can appreciate it still and be able to look at it and be like, man, it's excellent. It's very well put together. However, what I was expecting to hear, what I heard on LA Leakers. That's facts.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it doesn't
Yeah.
mean that it's not dope, and it doesn't mean that I don't co-sign
Exactly.
the album, because I do.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But I did expect, like, I'm hoping for a bonus or something where he gonna come and drop some of that LA Leaker stuff,
Yeah.
Right.
I
Yeah.
think I wouldn't put it past him that he'll still do something like that again in his career.
Mhm.
I mean, maybe not. I want to show this comment here because I kind of disagree. Toussaint says you
Right.
probably won't get another
Won't get no
hungry, but I don't know because one thing about Common, whenever I listen and watch him in interviews, is he's always talking about how like yeah, he's into acting and
Mhm.
activist. He's doing all this stuff,
Yeah,
but he always talks about how music is kind of like
mhm.
still his passion, you know?
Absolutely. That was
And
on the
so
Breakfast Club, right, Till? You
yeah,
watched
yeah,
that?
I watched that one.
Yeah,
Yep, he
yeah, I
talks about
watched
it
that.
there.
Yeah,
So I, you know, he on Black America again, he had a song on there that was I would say similar to Hungry, where he was just snapping. So he
right,
might do another album, you know, similar. We'll see. I
right.
don't know. I
Yeah,
you know, like I said, I went into it thinking that it would be like part one, and I feel like it was. I feel like it was a continuation
mhm.
of, you know, the first one, and I like it. It's like with Common, almost every album of his that I'm like, it's one of my least favorite Common albums. It's still one of my favorite albums of the year.
Okay,
You
that's
know,
dope.
because Common
Yeah,
just set the bar for himself so high. You
yeah,
know,
yeah.
like after his first album, like Resurrection, you know, One Day,
It
and
all makes
like Water
sense.
for Chocolate.
Water
Like
for
I don't think
chocolate.
he can make an album that I'm gonna like more than those three.
Yeah, no,
You know what I
no,
mean?
no,
Like
no.
those three are just some of
Yeah,
my favorite albums of all time. Like
and B,
incredible.
yeah, them
Yeah,
albums
B is
cold,
dope
bro.
too.
Yeah,
He's made greatness like Black America again. Like I love that album. Shout out to
yeah.
Quint. Calls it a classic right there. Black America
Nice,
again, a classic. Yeah, I
nice.
said it. I won't argue with Quint because I think it's a really great album, but it's not like those three that I just
Yeah,
mentioned. You know,
yeah,
so
yeah.
I'm okay with that. And like you guys said, you know, he's in a different place in his life. And
Right.
I really don't mind like the content changing as long as I feel like if it's changing in like a healthy or positive
Oh yeah, yeah,
direction,
for sure, absolutely.
you know, that's cool. So he's not doing the hungry joints, but he's doing these love joints. Like that's
Right.
fine. You know, maybe
Yeah.
I want to hear hungry, whatever. But as long as he's, you know, growing into a
Right.
better human. And I feel like
Yeah.
that, like I listened to this album and then like go back to his first few albums. Even though I like the first few albums more, I gotta say I appreciate where he is
Oh yeah.
now more. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Like
Yeah, for
he's
sure.
just he's more thoughtful with his lyrics, you know.
Yeah.
And yeah, so I really like the album overall. There's a few beats on there that I thought, man, these drums just sound kind of awkward and weird, but it's good. Yo, there's the star of the show.
You already know the next
This-
QB in the NFL right
yeah,
there.
man.
He's saying, "What's
Yeah.
up? Look, we this way."
Did you record?
Yeah, that's crazy.
Look,
That's
he's
cool.
already asking, did I record him? See? Hey, I'm telling him we talking about Common. I didn't record you yet, son.
Yo, is he is he a Common fan?
He knows who he is, but not like Master Ace. You know, he know Ace.
That's
That's
cool.
what's up.
That's
That's
yeah.
what's up.
Cool. All right. So overall, how would you, if you had to rate this album, if you had to give a rating, what would you give it?
What's the scale?
Let's go 1 to 10. I give you 10.
I would give it a 8.5.
Wow. All right. I didn't think it would go that high. That's dope.
Yeah, I'll give it
8.5.
an 8.5. Yeah.
Okay.
I'll give it an 8. Well, 7 to 8.5. 7 is the number of God, so 7 to 8.5. 7 to 8.5. Either one of the within that range, that's what I'll give it. If
All
I could do that.
That's dope. Yeah, you can do whatever you want, man. It's all good. All right, Profound. How about you, man? How would you rate it?
I give it a strong 8. I'm right there with you. I give it a strong 8, a really strong 8.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd probably give it about the same. That's what Quint here, 8.5.
doubt. See, great
So-
minds think alike. Shout out, Quint. Word up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no doubt.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh, and then we're Toussaint is
Tucson
8.
say give
So
it an 8. No
boom,
doubt. No doubt.
right there.
Yeah.
And,
we all on the same page.
all on the same page. Marcus didn't rate it
Mhm.
yet, but he said that freestyle he just did was insane. It was.
Yeah, it was,
Yeah.
bro. That joint
He's
was
dope.
nuts. He blacked out on that joint, bro.
Yeah.
He
Yeah, I
blacked
loved it.
out. Yeah,
I love
for
that
real.
joint.
Yeah.
Who, guys, this is a fun question. And for those watching, tuning in, question goes for you too. You can comment below. Who would you like to see Common do an album with?
Ooh, you mean producer wise or like
producer
MC
wise.
wise? Oh my
Producer
God,
wise,
bro.
one producer for another album.
Oh man, Joe. You know who I would like? It's a few that come to my mind, but
Yeah.
the one who I would love for him to do a project with is shoot. I'm gonna name a few, but I'm gonna let
Do
us
it.
go around.
Yeah, you could.
Pete Rock.
Mm.
I would like to see him do a joint with Pete Rock. I think he would do dope over, and y'all gonna be surprised that I say this, but Just Blaze, bro. I could see Just Blaze like
Just Blaze is
giving
dope.
Common some fire, dog. You know what I'm saying? And
man.
it'll take him somewhere that he may not have been before. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Who else? Mad Lib, I think that'll be a dope. I think Mad Lib will hook him up. Man, I think I mean, right off my top of my mind, those are the producers that I'm thinking about. Cause the P Rock and Sky Zoo was crazy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He gave Sky Zoo some heat.
Yeah, he did.
So based off of that album, if
Yep.
Pete was to give Common the beats he gave like Sky Zoo, that'd be nuts, bro. That'd be
definitely.
Nuts. Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
All right, Profound, who you got, man?
I got one producer only, Primo.
Ooh,
Yo, that's what Marcus said. Marcus said
Yeah,
Primo.
Because, and the
bro.
reason I say that, you remember the what was the ones joint? A couple of joints Primo did, wasn't like the Sixth Sense
Yep, that
he
Yeah.
did. Yeah, man. Yeah. And who did I don't think that was Primo. No, that was High Tech. High Tech did 199, right?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, that was High Tech.
Yeah.
I
Man,
think.
Primo. I'd like to see Primo engineer an entire project with him. High
that'd be
Tech
dope.
too.
Ooh, High Tech would be dope.
High Tech would be dope too.
Yeah.
High Tech gave him 2 bangers, that 199, and he
Mhm.
gave him that. What was that? Boom, 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 boom.
Oh, Sun God.
Oh, Sun God.
High
Man.
Tech, he gave him some
That-
heat on that joint, dog. Oh my
That is
god,
dope. Hey,
bro.
what do y'all think about Quint's suggestion here?
I
RZA.
know. I just want to say, I was
What do you
like,
think,
ooh,
RZA?
RZA and Common, that'd be crazy.
Man, listen, I'm gonna say Purple Tape RZA.
Purple,
right. Purple Tape RZA, yeah.
Man, I
I'd take Liquid Swords RZA too, though.
Yeah, just any
Oh,
of
yeah,
those.
yeah.
Liquid, that would Liquid
Yeah.
Swords,
Oh, facts,
you
Io.
know what I'm saying? Ooh,
There's a
bro.
few new producers, or younger producers I'd like to see Common work with. One is J.R. Swift's.
Yeah,
I think
shout
that
out
would be
to
dope.
JR. That'd be dope.
I'd also like to see J.R. Swift's would be dope. Phonics from A1 and Phonics.
Yeah,
But
and
if
I
we
would like
went-
to hear him. So go ahead. Sorry, go ahead.
Now, I was gonna say, if we went with a more seasoned producer that's been around for a minute, I'd throw Knots into the mix.
Okay.
Because I feel like Knots has that kind of that
type of
those beats that kind of like stutter and go, and I feel like Common
Yeah.
likes that. I think that's why he works with who is it, Kareem Higgins a lot,
Oh,
because
yeah,
he
Kareem
kind of has that
Higgins,
stuttery type
Yeah.
of drum sound. So I think that would work well.
Wait a minute. What about the Roots?
Oh, that would be that'd be super dope.
Oh my God! If you let Questlove executive produce
Come
a whole
on.
project, is
Yeah.
that what was that song he did on that boom 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 with Erykah Badu on there? That
Oh yeah, all night long.
They did that joint.
Yeah,
That's
they
Roots,
did.
bro. Like that joint was so
That's from
cold.
One Day
dude.
It'll All Make
And when
Sense.
Common, what was
Yeah.
in the Common Act 2, was it on
I think that was them too.
the
That
Roots,
was the Roots.
the
too.
Roots album?
Yes.
Yeah.
With him and
That
Black
was a
Thought.
dope song.
Yeah, that was dope.
So yeah, that good call.
Yeah.
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 That's a phenomenal song, man.
Yeah, so yeah.
All
I
right.
mean Twami, man. I think
Yeah.
he would sound good with Twami.
Yeah. There's a lot of dudes.
There's
And
a lot of cats out
man,
here.
I'd love for Common to work with, especially some of these younger artists, producers.
Yeah.
And he's got that vibe. He'd probably do it, So
Right. Yeah.
I don't know.
But who would you want to see him collab with as far as like MC?
As an
Like
MC?
like a duo. Like let's say like if he was to come out with an album with a duo, kind of like Mos Def and Talib Kweli, who would you pair Common up with to do like one of them
Black
type
Thought.
of albums? Like a Common and so are Black Thought.
Black Thought, yeah.
That'd be
Man,
crazy.
That's a good question.
That'd be crazy.
Hmm.
Him and Black Thought.
Common and Black Thought.
I think
easily.
this isn't an MC. I'm still thinking about an MC, but you know, PJ, the singer, and she's the voice that
She
you
was
hear all over.
dope, bro.
She's
She is
phenomenal.
fire, bro. Yes.
So I
Yes.
love that combination, the two of them
Yeah.
together.
Me too. Me too. Me
But
too.
man, an MC
She
with
should have been
Common,
featured on that whole album, like Ghost was featured on the Purple Tape, bro.
right?
Like she
Yeah,
should have just been on every song,
she
dog.
was on almost most of
She
them.
was on like she was like on like, let's see, 1, 2,
I mean, it's 9
3,
songs total. So like, I think she was
4.
on like
She's at least
6.
on like 5. Yeah, 5 or 6.
Yeah,
So yeah, Joe. Yeah,
yeah, man.
PJ. Shout out to PJ. She dope, bro.
I'm gonna think. Yeah, killed that album. I'm gonna think more about that MC question. But were there standout tracks to you guys on this album that you're like, man, this is the joint right here, or
To
just kind of
me,
feel the whole
oh,
album?
sorry. To me, that When We Move, man, I'm stuck on that.
Yeah,
That joint's so cold, man.
yeah,
When
it
we
is.
move, the whole world. Yeah, that joint fire, dude. That
Yeah.
right there, I can't move past that every time. I listen to it like 5 or 6 times every time I get to it. So definitely that. Definitely that one.
I like the one right after that too. Set It Free.
Yeah,
And
me
it's
too.
funny. My son, my 6-year-old son, he doesn't even know what the PJ's singing, but he's singing the you know, the rhythm. So that's
Yeah.
fun. Yeah. Profound. Any songs stick out to you from the album? Oh, he's doing some family stuff. The joint that stuck out to me, well, the one you said, Io Moss for sure. When we move, that's just so sick. But Star of the Gang,
Yes, that's
that
dope too.
I love. That's more of that boom bap sound. Like that was the most boom bap beat on there, in my opinion.
Yeah.
You know, I was
No
feeling
question.
that one. Yeah, I like that one a lot. And the one, what was the one where he was just maybe poetry? Yeah, I think poetry. Where it was just like
Which
it wasn't a
one?
lot
Oh
to
yeah,
the drum.
poetry.
Like
Yeah.
it wasn't a lot to
yeah.
the beat, so that it was kind of
Yeah.
spacious and Common could just
Right.
kind of flow. I thought that was pretty dope too. But
Yeah,
I
thought
like
that was
most of
dope
them.
too.
So
I like. I mean, all the songs that PJ is on is get a head nod, and then
right.
like the one you said, the poetry joint is dope. And I kind of like the Saving Grace joint with Brittany Howard. That joint is dope too.
That's the slower one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was dope.
It's kind of dope. You know what I'm saying? If that's the one that's in my head that I'm thinking about, but yeah, for sure. Yeah, man.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, listen, Io Moss, I want to do something. I wanted Profound to be here for it, but if he jumps back on,
He said he had to dad, but he almost home. So he
oh,
gonna try
okay,
to
cool.
back
So it
up
might.
in when he get home.
Hey, but you know, salute to Profound, man, being the
No
dad of the
doubt.
year out there
Exactly.
with his son. That's great, man. I love it. But so maybe we'll hold off here for a second. I'll ask you some more common questions. As far as an MC that could rhyme, you know, on a full album like a duo, at first I was thinking Pharoah Monch.
Oh snap!
But I don't know if that would work necessarily because they're just I don't know. They're so different. Their styles are so different.
I think Pharoah would overshadow him.
Yeah.
I think, in my opinion, it's as far as like the dominant MCs, Pharoah is a very dominant MC.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, so. I think you might be right. I think Black Thought. I like Black Thought though.
Yeah, me too.
Even though he can be kind of like a dominant MC, he just has a lot of style like Common. You know, so I think they kind of complement each other.
And they all about that Black liberation.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's what they own. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So they kind of complement each other as well. So
yeah. And speaking of that, like one of the things that, you know, I've been watching a lot of interviews of Common talking about this album, you know, The Beautiful Revolution. What I've heard him talk about is like it's kind of it's like an inward revolution. And so a lot of the content on the album is talking about like going inward and like a personal revolution, like setting yourself free. Like that's the revolution, you know?
Yeah.
And so I really like that idea. I mean, I also like the idea of like reforming society and revolution in society, but also like that idea of like, well, it can start with me, you know, it can start within my own world, a revolution inside, you know? So yeah, I really like that too. Oh, Quint, man, yo, I don't know. Almas, I'm curious to know what you think about this one.
Holy moly, I think that'd be kind of dope, dog.
I think so too.
Common and Joey Badass, yeah. I
Yeah.
don't know, bro. Yeah, Quint coming with it tonight.
Yeah, because Joey has that style too.
He
You
do.
know, he can
He
really
does.
style on a beat,
Yeah,
like
yeah,
Common, in a
absolutely.
different way though. So I think it would really complement
He
each other.
complement each other. I think
Definitely.
so too. I
Hey,
think so too.
side note, going off script here. Did you ever see that movie? It was like a 30-minute, maybe it was longer, movie with Joey Badass on Netflix.
Yeah, well, he kept getting murdered by the police. Yeah, that
Yeah.
movie was powerful, man. That short
Man.
movie, it was dope. I forget the
Yeah.
name of it, but if
I
y'all,
forget too.
for those that's watching, you need to go check that out. Like that movie, that little short movie is deep, man. It's deep.
Super deep. Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah. My wife
Yeah.
put me on that joint, man. I didn't even know about it. She was like, "I want us to watch this." I was like,
Yeah.
"Wow!" I was like, "It was powerful, man."
Yeah, it just popped up one night, and I was like, "All right, I like him. See,
Yeah,
see how he does with the acting." And he did his thing. So
he doing his thing in the 50 Cent joint, the Power Book #3 that's on
dope.
Stars. Like he
Okay.
playing like a drug dealer. He doing his thing on there, man. Joey Badass
Yeah.
he can act, man.
Hey, he's
He
a
can act.
talented dude all
Yeah, he's
around.
a talented
I
cat.
love
Man,
his music.
for real. Yeah,
All right.
for real.
So let's jump in. We're gonna do this, man. We're gonna jump into this. This is one word, common edition.
No
All
doubt.
right. We're gonna
Let's
go back
get
and
it.
forth. Yeah. I'll let you go first this round, and
Alright.
we'll go back and forth. So,
Okay.
all right. We're gonna go through the albums. All right.
One
One by
word.
one.
One
One
word.
word. One word. Here we go.
Okay,
Can I Borrow a Dollar? By Common.
Startup.
Startup.
Yeah.
All right. I don't want anyone to hate me on this. But I'm gonna say Chipmunk. I do like this album though.
Right.
But he had a chipmunk flow on it. Okay. Next joint. I'll go first here. Resurrection. I'm gonna do a name. No ID.
Okay. I would say classic.
Classic, yeah.
Definitely classic hip hop.
I agree. And I said No ID because even though Common is doing his thing on there and arguably has one of the greatest songs about hip hop, with I Used to Love Her, that is phenomenal. And he has other great songs. And his flow, I think, was miles better than the first album. Yeah. Still, for me, No ID stole the show on the production. Because that album just sounds so good to me. The sampling,
really good. Yeah.
Like the ability of placing the beats to the samples, like that's as good as you're gonna get. Like it just was perfect. All right, you can go first on this one. One Day to All Make Sense.
Man, I would say monumental.
Monumental.
Yeah, I would say monumental.
I would say formative.
Okay.
Yeah. It's a dope album.
Yeah, it's a dope album, bro.
I'm not sure which word this was for Quint, but he said classic. Yeah, we'll just say the last two were classic. That's good. Oh no, he said this one. He said underrated for that one.
Oh, okay. For the One Day It All Makes Sense.
I feel
that. I feel that too. It didn't get the props that it deserved.
Nah, it's a great album.
Yeah, it's a great album, bro. Yeah.
All right, Quint. Let's see what you got to say about this one. I'll go first on this one. This is Like Water for Chocolate. Man, one word. I'm gonna use two hyphens to make one word. Boom Bap Soul. My one word.
Yes, sir. My one word is Dilla. Dilla, Joe, all day. Like Dilla, man, Joe. Dilla did his thing on that production, bro. For real.
Yo, I like Quint's. Yes, Quint. This is a great word for it. Ageless.
Yes,
totally. This is I feel like this is an album where it's like, if you just like music, not necessarily hip hop, you can like this album. Exactly. It's just so musical. So
yeah.
All right, thanks for that. Quint's got the good answers tonight.
He do.
He always does though. All right, next one. Oh, this is gonna be a fun one. Let's see. Electric Circus.
I would say experimentation.
Yeah, I feel that. Second Chance.
Okay.
I
That's
feel like
his. Sorry.
no, I was just
Go
saying
ahead.
you're good. I feel like a lot of people like that didn't like this at first go back and listen to it and be like, I kind of like it.
Okay.
You know?
Okay.
What were you about to say?
It reminds me of the Beatles. What was the Yellow Submarine album? That's his Yellow Submarine.
Oh, right. yo, shout out to Quint on this one. Experimental going wrong. Oh man, poor Common. Man.
That's hilarious. Quint is hilarious. The Quint is hilarious, dog. That's funny, bro.
All right, tuning in for the second half of the albums is Profound. Profound is back with us. Welcome back, Profound.
Hey, man, technical difficulties, man, as well as beaming myself home from the field, man.
Good. It's all
Y'all
good.
held it down. Y'all held it down.
Of course, we got the one word segment going on right now. So
word. Who on everybody?
Common.
No, just
Common.
Common.
Common's entire catalog. All right, here we go. So he went off. So we'll back up here. Profound. One word on Electric Circus.
Horrible.
Or you think it's horrible?
It's the only album I don't listen to.
Really? Not even come close. You didn't like come close?
That's the only song that I can tolerate off of that album.
Aquarius? You didn't like Aquarius?
The only song I like on there is the one he got with Jill Scott. The All Right.
The Hustle?
Okay, yeah. That was dope. But yeah,
the whole Water for Chocolate.
No, that's on like Water for Chocolate. You talking about that's funky for you? Yeah, no, that ain't no that. That's what I'm saying. How you do that? Like Water for Chocolate was before Electric Circus.
Right.
So you come with Funky for You, and then you come out with Electric Circus. Yeah, I was like, oh man.
I think I said this earlier. It's one of my least favorite Common albums, and it was still one of my favorite albums from that year.
Really?
Yeah, because
what year was that, Till?
2000 something. Hold on, I'll look here. Go to the stack. Because I just feel like he set the bar so high. Like I feel like if this was another artist that put out this album, people would be like, oh, it's all right. But because it's Common, and we know what he's capable of, like you just said, like Water for Chocolate is like a phenomenal, ageless album, as Quinn said.
But you know what, too? I do remember, Ayo, do you remember this when the whole Come Close situation came out? That was around the time that it was rumored that he was dating Erica.
Yeah, it was. She influenced that album.
A lot of that space. Yeah. And he might have been in a different space.
True. It's 2002.
But my horrible stands.
All right.
And that's when he was wearing all them croquet pants and croquet hats. I'm like, dude, what is you doing, bro? Like, yeah, no longer from the
Hey, look at Quint. Look at Quint.
Never again.
Oh my God, man.
Oh man, that dude was wearing crochet hats, and even he said it. He was like, man, I was hard to recognize like Jamie and Ray. He even said it himself, bro.
Hey, look, Marcus, you right. Look, who is that? Marcus Dwayne. He sure did. She did the same thing to Andre 3000.
She did.
Facts.
She put that noonie. He put the noonie on them dudes, man. Like, man, bro. noonie. And she put the whammo on them cats, bro. Hilarious.
You know what's interesting though? She was making pretty dope music around that time.
She was.
Interesting. All right.
Yeah.
Next album, Profound. We'll start with you. B.
Refreshing.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Ayo.
To me, that was like the restart because he had to restart after that Soul Aquarius. He had to go back and adjust some stuff. So I call that the restart. Right?
I like that.
Comeback, restart, comeback. Either one of those.
I feel all that. I'm gonna go with Corner.
Oh yeah.
That song never gets old
and
to
that
me.
Video, bro.
The video, just Last Poets in there, the hook, the beat. The beat is it's like so simple, but at the same time, like there's always something new that I hear in it, and I love
Quinn
it.
said wine.
That's
it
it,
get better
Quinn.
with time, baby.
That's right. All right, so for me, the next one, we'll start with you, Io. I feel like this was the
Scratch that Baptiste.
Yes, yeah, right. Baptism, that's what he meant.
Baptism.
Yeah. So with this, I feel like this was a continuation of B.
Oh yeah,
Finding
for sure.
Forever.
Finding Forever.
Mm-hmm.
Indeed.
What would you say, Io? What's your word?
I would say if that was the restart, I would say this is the continuation.
Continuation, yeah, definitely.
Man,
that's my word. Continuation. Yep. Yeah. Profound thought. Anything?
I was gonna say consistent.
Consistent, yeah.
So I mean, but it's the same thing.
Yeah. I feel like B was to me. I like B a little bit more, but not by much because I feel like this was just like a continuation. You know. Like you said. All right, gonna have some more fun with this one. This is Universal Mind Control. We'll start with you, Io. Wait, let's go back. Quint.
Put me up. Stella got a groove back.
I think that was for the previous one.
Yeah, it had to be for the previous. Because
this guy, man.
No comment, bro. That's my one word, bro. Like, no comment, bro.
How about you, Profound?
MK Ultra. Universal Mind Control.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say,
That's a good word. My word for this is flow or delivery, because I feel like I actually like this album. It's not a typical Common album for sure. You know, it sounds very different, but it does have a feel to it. Like it has that, you know, kind of eclectic synthesized feel to it. And I feel like the Neptunes and Kanye and what was it, DJ from Organized Noise. I mean, I think they gave him some beats that kind of gelled together. And I feel like if you listen to this album again, I feel like Common was really flowing on this album in like just some new fun ways. Like it seemed like he was really enjoying it. And that came through to me in the music. So actually, this is another album that I liked that year, but I don't think it's a very good Common album by Common standards, but by hip hop standards, I think it's all right. All right. Next one, Profound. We'll start with you. The Dreamer, the Believer.
Man, what's Kabbalah? That's what I'm gonna call that, man, because it seemed like that album seemed like really introspective, man, and you know where he was going on that whole thing too, man. I really like that. I was listening to that today earlier.
Yeah,
I really like that album. Yeah, and I say Kabbalah because I'm actually reading that book right now, and it just it just put things in perspective. You know what I mean? It just put things in perspective, and that album to me, like that's a really really dope perspective of Common.
Yeah, I like it. Quint says poetic. I feel that.
Yeah.
That's a good word, Quint. Io, how about you?
I never heard it, bro.
Really?
It's a good one to listen to.
It's dope, Io. It's dope, man.
Okay.
My one word for it, I'd probably be dope. It just like he just went back to being dope, you know? Like dope beats, dope rhymes. What more do y'all want? I think No ID gave him some really great production to rhyme to. And it's a dope album.
And if I'm not mistaken, I think No ID did the whole album.
Whole album. Yep.
Yeah, that was the first time that, you know, they were collectively working back together again.
Right.
That's interesting.
Then they kept getting back together for this next joint, Nobody Smiling.
Man, do I have that?
Have either of you heard this one?
I might not have heard that. Hold on. Bro.
Io, have you heard it?
The only song, my one word is Kingdom.
Yes.
That's
that. I haven't heard that album. Man.
That joint crazy, boy. That's the only song I really heard off of the joint. Yeah. I'm being honest.
This is definitely my least favorite Common album.
Okay.
And I won't even say the second part where I still liked it because I didn't really get into this album musically.
Right.
So Quint, yeah, kind of
Forgettable.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But
Yeah.
Common has enough bangers. All right, but then Common comes back with. If you guys haven't heard this album, I really recommend it. This is Black America again, right there.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I can't say I heard it, bro.
Profound, have you heard this one?
Yep.
Yeah. What's your word for this one?
Revolution.
Yeah, I feel that. My word for this one, I'm gonna do another hyphenated joint. Near classic.
Okay.
I feel like he had classic moments on here.
Yeah.
That there were songs that are like classic status.
Okay.
But just not. There was too many songs that were not that to call it classic. Not that they were bad, but they were good. So I really like this album. All right. Okay. Then he teamed up. Got 3 more. He teamed up with a group for August Green. You guys hear this joint? This August Green album.
Oh no, I haven't. Man, I stopped. To be honest,
Yeah, I know you kind of stopped after a certain point.
Yeah, I stopped after a certain point, but yeah, I haven't heard it.
It's good. I think it's good. And that's probably my word. Good. I don't think it's classic or phenomenal, but I think it's good.
Yeah. Shout out to my cousin.
Hey, who was that album under?
It's called August Green.
Okay, but all right.
And I think that's what it comes. I think the name of the group is August Green, and that's what it comes up. But it's Common, Kareem Riggins, and Robert Clasper.
Yeah,
Clasper. Okay. Yep.
And this other dude, I forget the dude's name. Samora Pendergrass.
Roots 2.0.
I don't know. Dope. Roots. Oh yeah, this album Roots 2.0. I feel that. Yeah, because it's a band. I think it's dope. All right. Let Love. Either y'all heard this one?
I never heard it.
Man, I think there's some joints on here. I like this album a lot, and I would say good again. Like I don't think it's classic, but I would say good. All right. Okay. Last one. I got this one signed, which is dope. This is
you did.
Yeah, I didn't meet him or anything. Common. He did a cool thing. Like he only put out so many CDs, signed CDs to independent record stores.
Nice.
So the ones he signed them, and then they packaged them up and sent them out, which was cool.
Dope.
Hey, did y'all heard this one here? This is the Revolution Part 1.
Yeah, I heard it. I heard that one. I would say that one is man, what can I say about that one, man? Peace.
I love that song.
Dude. That's my joint, man. Say peace.
Yeah.
I don't really want to know. That's my joint right there. That's my joint, bro.
Yeah, I love that one. How about you, Profound?
I haven't dissected that one enough to even really give it a one word.
Yeah.
I mean, I've heard it, but I want to pass on this one. I need to go back to that.
I would say groove is my word. Because there's just some grooves on that album that are just so hypnotic and captivating. Super dope.
That what do you say? And what do you say?
Yeah.
That's like some roller skate joint. Right
yeah, I think in the video, he's in a roller skating. Yeah.
That joint,
man, I love that. All right. Okay, we've come to the end. You know what we have to do now. Quint, Marcus, anyone else listening in? We got to do it. Our top 5 Common albums.
Ooh.
Your top 5 Common. You can't do 6 or 7
or 8
or 8. 5. Got to make these hard decisions. We make hard decisions here at the Boom Bap Chat. All right.
Man, now we just naming 5. We not rating these 5. They're just 5.
I mean, for extra points, you put them in order. Yeah.
Oh.
I always got to put them in order, man.
That's a good one.
I mean, you can change them tomorrow, or next week, But you can always come back. But today, right now, what are your top 5 in order? Io Mas, do you have yours?
Yeah, I'm gonna
yours?
go. Okay, so number 5 would be Finding Forever.
Okay.
Number 4 would be B. This was hard. I would any other day or any other time I would put like Water for Chocolate. In my mind, Water for Chocolate is like number 1 of all times, but I just got like affection for Resurrection. So
Yeah.
I would say number 3. No, let me do it again. 5 is Finding Forever. 4 is B. 3 is One Day. It All Makes Sense. 2 is Like Water for Chocolate, and 1 is Resurrection. Number 1 is Resurrection.
I love
Those
it.
are my 5.
I love that list.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Those are
All
my
right,
5.
Profound. You ready, Profound? Or you want me to go next?
No,
You good?
you can go tell, but I'm ready. You can go ahead. Go, bro.
Okay. All right. Okay. 5. I'm gonna say Black America Again.
Okay.
It was hard for me because I had to push out a few other albums that I love, but I'm going with it. Black America Again, phenomenal album. 4, I have to say B. 3, number 3, One Day It'll All Make Sense.
Okay.
Now I'm with you, Io Moss. We're on the same wavelength. For like the past decade plus, Like Water for Chocolate has been my favorite Common album. But I went back and I listened to both of these albums this week, and man, there's just something about Resurrection.
I'm telling you, boy.
It bumped out Like Water for Chocolate. It might change tomorrow, but tonight, number 2 is Like Water for Chocolate. Number 1 is Resurrection.
Yeah, bro.
It was so fun. Like listening to that album, like I couldn't wait for the next song to come on. It's like,
bro.
Watermelon comes on next. Oh yeah,
this.
Just like, man, dope. All right,
and Till, what's dope about that is, Like Water for Chocolate was produced by several people, right?
Right. Yeah.
Resurrection was produced by No ID.
Exactly. That's what I said earlier. I think No ID. Oh, I think you were off at this time. No, I think No ID stole the show on that album. Like Common did his thing, no doubt. But for me, it was just the feel, the sound, the samples, the drums. Like it's just phenomenal. All right, Profound. Give it a top 5.
5 is Finding Forever, and we all got B as number 4.
Right.
These last 3, I'm gonna name them, but they interchangeable.
Yeah, I hear you.
So, damn. All right, number 1 is One Day It'll All Make Sense for me.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
And then
I can see that.
That album, man, it was just clever to me. The Stolen Moment joints in there, like everything fit.
Yeah.
Resurrection, I have to put it at number 2. I wanted to put Like Water for Chocolate there, but Resurrection, man, is number 2, and then Like Water for Chocolate is number 3.
All right,
no doubt.
That's hard, man. Damn,
that's hard, bro.
Let's see what Quint said. All right, Quint, number 1's B. All right, Quint, number 2 is Resurrection. 3, Like Water for Chocolate. Yeah. 4, Black America Again. And 5, Finding Forever. I like how your list is like sandwiched in between B and Finding Forever.
Yeah.
Because I feel like those are like 2 sides of the same coin, and you got these other classics in between. That's dope.
For sure.
Cool. Right on, fellas. Man,
what about Marcus and the other brother? They didn't do one.
They didn't do one. Oh, no, they didn't do one yet. If you're still listening, watching. Yeah, throw up your top 5. We'll put it up there.
Throw up your 5, Joe. Hey, Till, you know what, man? I got a question, man. We might need to do a show on this.
What's that?
I thought about this on the way home from the football field. Now, we talking about Common's albums, right? And we were talking about, like, listening to albums or comparing them. Like, should we really be comparing them? Shouldn't each album be its own experience? I mean, I guess it's human nature that we compare things, but I guess in a sense, like the part 1 and part 2 of this one, The Beautiful Revolution or whatever it is, like I get that those two, you said, those 2 things really kind of go together. But I'm just wondering, like, I'd like to ask Common or any other artist, like, how do they feel about their albums being compared? Like we do that with Nas. Oh, it'll never be Illmatic, but it's not supposed to be.
Yeah.
Those albums and those creations, not even say those pieces of art were presented at a time that they were presented for. So I don't know, like, I'm thinking, like, do we do it a disservice by comparing them? That's just a thought. That's just a thought, because I would think, like, when you hand a piece of art, you just hand a piece of art and this is what it is. Doesn't really need to be compared. I know, like I said, it's human nature that we compare it, but should we?
It's a great question.
I mean, I think it make good for conversation. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, right.
But yeah, I see what you're saying though.
I think it depends on the spirit of the conversation.
Facts.
I feel like what we're doing, like, this is a celebratory conversation.
Right.
There's some common albums that, each of us are not feeling as much as the others, whatever. That's natural when you have 15 albums, over your career. Everyone's not gonna be my favorite album, but we're not. It's a celebratory conversation. We're celebrating this man's work, his contribution to music. If we were like pitting Common against Master Ace and saying how one's horrible, that'd be a different conversation, a different spirit, But yeah, I think it just depends on the spirit of the conversation, Yeah.
Dope. I agree.
Because that isn't this a part of the hip hop conversation in general, like comparing, contrasting, talking about who's your top 5. Like I just feel like that's kind of embedded,
And I think that's why it came up. I think that's why it came up for me, because I'm not a favorite of the top 5.
Oh, really?
I'm not really a favorite of it because I think it's interchangeable.
Totally. That's why I always say, what's your top 5 right now?
Today,
because it can change,
exactly.
And like I said earlier, like Water for Chocolate has typically been my favorite Common album, but I think I'm going back to Resurrection, because it changes over time. Man. All right, I got one more album. I want to show y'all. One word to close out the one word segment, because I'm curious to know what y'all think about this. And it's Common adjacent. It's got Common all over it. You know what it is. Accept Your Own, Be Yourself, the Black Album by No ID. One word, Iomas.
Needed.
When
that boy came out, I was starving for some music from the crib. And when that came out, I was just like, oh my God, bro.
Yeah.
That album was needed, or you could say necessary.
Yeah, I love that. Yeah, that's a great word.
That joint fire, bro.
Profound.
I stole my word.
My bad.
No, but man, he's absolutely right there. Since he said necessary, I'm going to say important.
Important.
And I say that because a little bit of my tie to Doug, in behind the scenes of knowing like what they did to put that album together. A lot of people don't know No ID wanted to rhyme before he wanted to produce. Like he didn't. The production thing came like Common got his deal off of his production was how that happened.
Right.
But man, that's important. That's an important album to me, man. I feel like.
It really is, man.
And Io too. Doug said, "What's up?" I talked to him earlier today.
Oh, word. Tell
he's
I said, "What up?"
Man, I talked to him because I called him about redoing The Real Way.
Okay.
What?
Yeah, I was like, "Hey, Doug," and he was like, "Man, Pro, I'll send you the sample, man." He's like, "You redo it." I was like, "What?"
All right.
That's just like Doug to say that.
Yeah.
That's so Doug, bro.
I'll send you the sample. You redo it.
That's
dope.
Doug.
That's dope.
Yeah. Sorry. Go ahead.
No, you're good. I was gonna say I'll give this word one word for this album would be balance, because I forget who, someone online today was saying how like lyrically this album, like nobody goes to this album for the bars.
Bro, I read that.
Did you read that? Yeah.
I was hot. I almost commented, man. I was like, "No, yep." So you don't go to that album for the bars. I was like, "Wow."
But for me, this album has such a great balance to it, because it has to me, I think No Idea is dope on it, and he has.
Think so too.
But I don't think he's dope like in your face dope. He's a subtle
laid back, exactly.
He's a laid back dope.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's why I say balance, because the beats are just like hit you in the, if you like that soulful boom bap feel that No ID did, like every beat on here to me is just incredible.
Yeah.
So the beats are right there in your face, like this is dope. But then No ID is like, hey, if you want to appreciate my dopeness, you got to come over here and sit down with me for a minute and listen in. You know, I'm not gonna hit you off the from the jump. You'll be like, oh, that dude's dope. You gotta listen to me a little bit to take this in. So that's why I say balance. It's got everything. Love this album. All right,
it's a dope album.
Yeah, super dope, super dope.
It's a dope album, man.
Yeah. So Quint, I think, was saying refreshing.
Yeah.
Dope. Yeah, definitely. All right, fellas, we've come to that time again to give some shout outs. Unless there's anything else you want to say about the Common episode tonight. Any other final thoughts about Common before we do shout outs?
Well, I just want to Common means so much to me, especially being from the South Side of Chicago. Like he's very important to me as an artist, as an MC. And it was just like inspiring for me to see somebody just like make it out of, but still stay grounded. You know what I mean? Like even though he's like achieved so much, like Grammy, I think he said he won a Tony or something.
Right, I think he's won it all.
Yeah, you know what I mean? But to still stay grounded the way he stayed grounded.
Right.
I really appreciate that about Common, and I got huge respect and love for that for Rashid. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
For Common, for sure. For sure.
Same. I loved, even if I like his music, I think I mentioned this earlier, even if I like his early music more, I like where he is now more. Like I like the things he's saying. I like the things he's doing. I really appreciate where he is right now in his life and the things he's talking about. So I think that's super dope. And I don't know if you remember this, Iomas, I have a special memory of you. The first time I met you was right after B dropped. And I remember riding I think we were in a van with high school kids showing them Chicago, and you were in the back with me, and we put this on. We were bumping B, and you were so excited about that. I remember getting so hyped about food when the food came. It's my joint. You were rapping the lyrics. So that's dope.
Yeah, that's a classic, bro.
Yeah, so that's a good memory. And Quint said Common is the only Chi MC that stayed true to his people.
Say that again.
So I'm sure there's other Chicago MCs that stayed true to his people, but yeah, definitely. He definitely did. So thank you for that, Quint. Profound, any other last thoughts about Profound before we do our shout outs? I mean,
about Common. Yeah. I mean, just to, co-sign what y'all both said.
Yeah.
Rashid is definitely an influence, and, meeting him, it was the same thing like Ace, like you meet these people, man, and you have a perception of them before you meet them, and then you meet them and they're like extremely humble, and they treat you, like they want to be treated, man. And it's just, it makes me like the artist more, you know what I mean? And I tend to give them more of a chance musically than somebody who might've been a jerk, or something like that. But overall, man, I feel like Common is still very relevant. I feel like he's very necessary to the industry, to hip hop, and the culture, period, be it through entertainment or movies or whatever he's doing, man. He's just, it's just an incredible example to follow, man, being from the crib too. So
sure.
Totally. Cool. We, fellas, we reached that time of the show to do some shout outs before we go. Iomas, who you want to shout out tonight?
Man, just want to shout out. First of all, I want to shout out y'all, my brothers. I always seem to forget to shout out y'all, so I'm gonna start with y'all first. You know what I'm saying? My Boom Bap brothers, Pill, Profound, Stowe, Bo. You know what I'm saying? Enough respect to them, and Joe. Can't forget my brother Joe. Enough respect to my wife, my people in Chicago. Shout out to Culture Power 45. Shout out to the Negro League. Shout out to my people in Detroit. What's the irony? My brother Ron. You know what I'm saying? Taiwan, Quasi, Fifth, Dante, shout out them. And shout out my people in Toronto. You know what I'm saying? Shout out Professor Hampton at U of T. Shout out the Black Studies cohort, my family, and all my people. Shout out to Dr. Francesca, her husband Jason. And yeah, man, shout it out like that. And shout out to my brother Common, man. Keep doing your thing. love the work that you're doing with the schools, with the CPS schools.
Yeah.
And like, the activism work that you're doing. And you know what I'm saying? It's always refreshing to see him in movies. Just like I seen him in some independent film I was just watching. He just popped up. I'm like, dang, that's common in this movie. So
right.
It's always good to see him doing his thing. So yeah, man, that's my shout outs for tonight, man. God bless everybody for tuning in, man.
No doubt. Thank you. Ayo Mas, Profound. How about you, my man? Who you want to shout out tonight?
Man, I'm gonna keep it consistent. Shout out my crew, the Boom Bap Chat brothers, you, Till, Io, Big Bro, Stowe, and Mr. Joe November. And man, and the many children that I have, Amir Zakir, Rosalina, Daima, Ariel, and my young quarterback, Elijah, who is crawling in the bed right now. But man, bro, and hip hop in general. Let's shout out to Quint too, man. Like, and everybody that was in the feed listening to us live, man. I like when people interact with us. So shout out to them. And just peace and blessings to everybody, man. I hope everybody is well. Shout out to my man Gino too again, and his family, man. They need prayers, man, and just love and light and positive energy they way, man. That's all.
Right on. Thank you, my man. Profound. I want to say thank you. Shout out to you guys, obviously. You said it. To the other cats, Bo and Michael Stowe, Big Stowe, and Joe November. Shout out to you guys. Appreciate y'all. And shout out to Quint for tuning in. I really appreciate it. He shout us out, man. He said shout out to us. So look at that. Shout out to you guys in this crew.
Shout out to Quint, bro.
Shout out to Quint.
Yeah. Shout out to Marcus who's tuning in tonight. Everyone that was tuning in, appreciate y'all. And shout out to the 30 plus people that support us at Patreon. We appreciate y'all support, man. We really, really do. I remember when I set up the Patreon, a buddy of mine chipped in $1 a month, and he's been doing it ever since for years.
Wow.
And every time I see him, he's in Cincinnati. Every time I see him, I'm like, thank you so much, man. He's like, oh man, I'm not doing nothing, man. I was like, yeah, you are. You were the first, and you support it. It's like the amount of money doesn't matter. The support is what matters. Whether you're commenting on these things, throwing in $1, whatever it is, we appreciate it. Everyone's part of the movement. But if you want to throw $1 behind your support, you can at patreon.com/everybody's hip hop. So shout out to all y'all that are doing that. Appreciate it. And shout out, like you said, to Common. Man, thank you, Common. Common listens to our podcast every Thursday. So Jay-Z listens, Nas, we've gone through this before.
all the hip hop greats.
All the heads, they all tune in. So Common, thank you for tuning in, and thank you for the music that you've given the world. I really appreciate it, and can't wait to hear and see more of you. So on that note, y'all, we say
peace.
Peace.